Welcome to ASP Stuff Radio, the internet radio show where we talk about anything and everything from cats to baseball to the unemployment rate of orange chicken consumers. Today is Thursday, March 2nd. This is your host, Paulato. Joining me as always from their undisclosed fortresses of solitude and philosophical servitude are Alberotle and Steveocrates. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Very good. Paulato, what's going on? Things are changing.
Why am I doing the intro?
You.
Or why? What reason? What is the special occasion here?
Yeah.
We're trying something different here at ASP Stuff Radio, mixing it up a little bit.
Whoa, what an honor. What an honor.
I wanted Paulato to be in control of the show tonight.
Yeah, and eventually maybe Steveocrates can try it out.
One day.
Takes a little bit of preparation. Future. Or not.
Yes.
It does. You just try to improvise.
It does take a lot of work.
Took a while to write up that intro.
Yeah, it did.
Almost 25 minutes.
It's like a homework assignment. A+. Good job, Paulato.
So today we wanted to talk about, well, it's spring almost, and we want to talk about San Francisco Giants spring training.
Woohoo!
Sports! We're going to talk about sports!
Is it time to panic now that the Giants have lost 4 straight games in spring training? They started out 3-0, and now they've lost a few games here in a row. I don't know. It's not
time
looking
for
good.
Wotus to step up and Bochy to have a seat for a little bit.
Oh, so you want to give Wotus a chance to manage the game.
4 straight. Not looking good. Bleak.
When I saw, was it last week, one of the games? Oh, Steveocrates was with me. We were watching a spring training game. I think they were playing against the Cubs. It was the second game. The Giants were leading. I can't remember the score, but they were leading by maybe 5.
7-3.
7-3. They put in Strickland to close, I believe.
Yeah, it was the 9th inning. They put him in, and he
they had a 4-run lead.
Something.
4-run lead, yeah.
And he got rid of the 2 batters pretty quickly. Fastballs, painting the corners, but then the last 2 batters, he was struggling a bit. And it kind of was reminiscent of last season where they would get out the first batter or 2, and then all of a sudden things didn't go accordingly.
Well,
the remaining out.
there was a Zionist sitting in the second row, and I could see him, on his phone trying to organize the conspiracy.
Oh,
so they were kind of staging it, practicing the staging effect. And I could see, Strickland, he took out his mobile phone. He's like, is this the right pitch to toss?
So even the game riggers are in their spring.
You got it. Yeah, so
they're also playing up to par.
They're preparing for the season. How to get the audience worked up, the Giants audience in particular.
So Strickland, he was on cue. He did calm down and he did get the final out, so that it was 7-5. They did score. They scored a couple runs because I think one of the guys had a 2-run double. I don't think it was with the bases loaded, but it was with a couple runners on.
Yeah,
Do you think the Giants' closing issues are still going to continue next year?
I think so. I think it's just a continuation.
Well, who's their closer?
We're already 2 games into that was 2 games into the spring training. I was like, let's continue where we left off.
Yeah,
struggling. They did well the first half. They came back that game, and then the Giants somehow were erasing that game.
The first game they did something that they had never done, or they didn't do at all last year, which was come back to win a game in the 9th inning. They hit a 3-run home run by Marrero, who probably won't even sniff the major league roster, but it sounds like Alberotle thinks Giants are going to have some closing issues.
I think so. Just a taste of what to expect for this season.
But they got melancholy.
They do have melancholy.
Isn't that a word for depression?
No, that's his last name.
Well, that's not a good sign.
Or Melacone.
It's Mark Melanson.
Melancholy? Where'd you get that
Wasn't
from?
even close.
Close. Yeah.
Close.
So yeah, Mark Melanson, they signed him. He was one of the big free agent closers that was available. He was the guy that the Giants wanted to get at the trade deadline. Bobby Evans was trying so hard to get him from the Pirates, and he thought he gave him a very good deal, but the Pirates went ahead and traded him to the Nationals, and that pretty much took the Giants out of having a closer for the rest of the season. So they were able to sign him to a big contract, and hopefully that shores up their closer role. But what do you think, Steveocrates?
How long has he been a closer?
Probably about 4 or 5 years now for the Pirates, and then before that, he was originally drafted by the Yankees. He actually came up at the same time as George Contos, so they're pretty good, close.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of proven himself. He's got a proven reputation, so it might take. Well, let's see how he does, because I think towards the end of spring training, they'll probably want to test that out, right? Maybe just put him in at the 9th inning towards the end of the month, see how he does. But for a professional like that, he's been doing it for 4 years now. You know, that'll take a little bit of getting used to, but it shouldn't really take too long. He should be able to get right back into it.
Or were you talking about melancholy?
Melancholy.
Let's get the name pronunciation right. What is it?
Mark Melanson.
Mark Melanson.
Melanson. It looks like melancholy when you look at the spelling. Melanson. Mark Melanson.
Feeling of pensive sadness.
Well, they say he gets very quick and stress-free saves because he doesn't throw hard, but his main specialty pitch is the cutter. So sort of like Mariano Rivera, because he was on the Yankees when they had Rivera, and he learned how to throw that cutter. So he's pretty similar to him. Pretty quick saves, not a whole lot of drama.
Yeah, that
would be nice.
That would be nice, especially in light of a Trump presidency. It seems it's one less thing we need to stress out about in baseball this season. Just a calm, relaxing. If you're ahead by 5 runs, do your job, close out the game quickly, smoothly, stress-free.
So we heard I'm sure Bochy just wants to put him right back in his role. I mean, that's the expectation, right? Just assume he gets that closing role. And no, he doesn't really have to compete for anything because there's nobody to really compete against.
No.
Now, it would be nice to have your starting pitchers to go 5 to 6 innings without any issues. And then I think the way the Giants are shaping up, their starting staff isn't going to be much of a concern. If you think about it, they have Bumgarner, Cueto. They pitch deep into games. The way Matt Moore finished last year, he looks like he can pitch deep into the games. They're really 1 inning away from Matt Moore pitching and winning the World Series. It was just the World Series. Or probably they would have. Yeah, okay. I think he just pitched that one more inning. But Bochy was, I don't know. He had a blood clot in his brain. It was temporary. It was not a complete blood clot. It was a couple platelets just went through. That's all you need. Just a couple platelets coming on through. And, so I think the thing the Giants will need to worry more about is the middle relief pitching because they've lost the entire core 4. Yeah. So Casilla, Lopez, Afel, Romo, they're all gone. So how do you fix that gap? What do you do to patch that hole? Who can you replace? Well, first of all, it's a ship of Theseus, the philosophical problem of identity. Casilla. We're looking at Casilla, okay. I don't think he was doing much towards the end of the season, right? No, he was terrible. Romo was coming off injuries, and he was sort of up and down a little bit, right? Lopez didn't end strong. That's true. Right? So they were already in decline, the core 4. I wouldn't say they really had a great last part of that season. So it's not like they were operating. They were completely dependent on that middle relief. Yeah, and you have younger guys like Osich, Contos isn't even that young.
Smith, Strickland, these young guns that they were feeling the heat to try to close out a game, to try to compete to close the game or set up the 8th or 7th inning. Now they won't really feel that much pressure since they have sort of a seasoned closer to get the job done. Guerin, right? He was kind of injured a little bit.
Right. He just came back right before the playoffs. So they were all over. They just didn't have anything set. And
Derek Law was in on that, and that'll help to have a seasoned guy there. I don't know if that will solve it completely because I don't know. It has to be kind of a seamless transition, but you got to give him a little bit of a grace period because it's change of scene. Just got to warm up. It's spring training's different.
You just got to give it your all, man. You just got to give it 110%, man.
Definitely.
Just do what you got to do and support the team. It's about.
Were there any pitchers that looked good that were throwing hard?
I didn't. The game I wanted to go to was a couple days ago when they were playing against the Oakland Athletics, and I think what was his name? Suarez was pitching.
Albert Suarez, or there's a different Suarez.
I think there was Andrew Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the guy that was pitching?
Maybe I don't know. I didn't see that game.
His picture is missing from the roster.
I'm not sure who it was, but
yeah, it was Andrew Suarez.
Andrew Suarez was doing pretty well. John Miller and Sean Estes were calling the game.
Impressed.
Yeah, they were impressed, and just based on
the loss.
Yeah, they got the loss. He got the loss.
20 ERA, so not sure.
but he just the way they were describing his stuff, they were very impressed. Sean Estes was impressed. Yeah,
it's about the stuff.
Yeah, you can't take.
But
one thing in spring training is you can't take anything from the stats. Just throw that out.
Yeah, throw it out the window.
About how they look. So, Albert, you were impressed with Andrew Suarez.
Andrew Suarez. At first, I thought, who? Albert Suarez? This can't be the right guy. I mean, he's a good pitcher, but not the way that they're describing him. So I had to listen carefully. And Estes, wasn't he a pitcher? No, he wasn't a pitcher, was he?
Yeah,
that's what. Okay, he was a pitcher
back in the 90s.
Which reminds me, a financial advisor that I know is good friends with Sean Estes.
Oh, really? Shout out to that financer,
Pete Murky of Wells Fargo.
Oh, okay, no,
it's a different one.
Maybe he can.
Our identities are covered up, but not these.
Yeah, we just
announced him.
Throw him out under the bus.
Maybe he can ask Sean Estes what he thinks about the Giants picking Jeremy Affeldt and Javi Lopez instead of him to fill in for Mike Kruko's broadcast.
Yeah. So you think it's going to be Sean Estes is going to be the guy?
I think he wants to be, but he does their pre and post game stuff instead. He doesn't get to do the actual games.
Well, I think it makes sense.
I like him. I think he's good at breaking down the games.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to have a former pitcher call some games. Mm-hmm. I always find that educational to learn about what types of pitches to throw in situations.
Did you see any of the former Giants in camp coaching? Like Lopez was there, Cody Ross was there, Tim Hudson I think was there at that time.
Sean
Dunston is part of the coaching staff. Yeah.
Who's Ellis Burks?
Oh yeah, Ellis Burks.
I got his signature.
Oh nice.
Yeah,
you did. No,
I got his signature.
From Steven remembers. He was from those late '90s, early 2000s Giants when they had Aurelia, Kent, Vaughn, Snow, Miller.
He was one of their home run hitters. Actually, he's one of their top offensive players at the time. He was kind of in I guess he was towards the end of his prime, but he's still a little bit. He came from the Rockies. Is that where?
Yeah, Giants traded for him in exchange for Darrell Hamilton. Yeah, he was toward the end of his career at that time, but that's a good signature to get. You gotta hold on to that ball.
And you go to the Giants store in Scottsdale, one signature from Hunter Pence is $250.
Yeah,
Jeez.
but that's just the ball. It's only with his signature.
Just
one
with his
single
signature. But I would assume if you get 5 signatures on one ball, that would be worth more. No.
Well, what do you think, Paulato? Does having other names, like say you were to have a ball with 2 signatures, one with Gregor Blanco
and then Gorky Hernandez.
Well, no. Say you have Buster Posey, just the ball and one signature on the ball with Buster Posey, and then Gregor goes and signs it. Does that increase value, or does that diminish it a little bit?
I think it lowers the value.
Do we know what the official does lower the value? No,
Only
fortunate
by,
for
like,
Gregor.
50 cents.
Baseball connoisseurs will probably spit on it.
So
exclusively
Alberotle,
Buster Posey ball.
So Alberotle, what you have to do is you have to carry a bucket of baseballs every time you go to get signatures.
Let's throw one out.
Just one ball each.
Or I'll just white out the irrelevant ones.
Who did you get?
I did get Lopez, Hunter Pence, Michael Morse, Ellis Burks, Contos, a couple players I didn't know. I almost got Crawford's.
You could say, "Hey, no, I don't want you to sign over there. You don't."
Yeah.
Were you? Another big storyline for spring training is the 5th starter role. And I don't know if you saw the lame Dodgers game last night.
I missed it. Damn it.
But yeah, Matt Cain did not look that well. Like he's just still off. Throwing a lot of fat pitches. Yeah, it's his role to lose.
Oh, no. Come on. Why?
So Boji's considering...
Why is that even a question? This is the question.
I thought that was a joke. Why would he even consider?
It should either be Ty Blach or Albert Suarez.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like because, Matt Cain's been around so long and they owe him so much money for this year. This is his last year of the contract. I don't know. I think they're going to give him that job to start, see how he does. But yeah, I would prefer to see Ty Blach because he looked really good last year, and he's left-handed, which you really need, especially against the Dodgers because they can't hit left-handed pitching. There's a couple other guys too that could fit in that role. Actually,
and he helped secure that wild card berth, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, he pitched into the ninth, or he pitched 8 innings. Oh, in the playoffs you're talking about. Yeah, in the playoffs he pitched in the extra innings in one of the games that the Giants won. I think it was game 3. He looked really good in that game.
Okay, but I thought he also helped secure that berth.
Yeah, it was the game 161. He went 8 innings, shutout baseball, got 2 hits off of Kershaw.
Yeah, we should...
that's right. He was pitching as Kershaw.
Keep in mind, our audience, when you say birth, what are you referring to? Like birth, what does that mean?
BERTH.
Birth. Okay.
BERTH.
And what does that mean? So you say they're not giving birth to whom? A man can give birth to...
It's to grab a playoff spot, I guess. To secure.
Birth the Giants into the playoffs.
He went on maternal leave, and he gave birth to a playoff spot.
Oh, okay. Just to clarify.
Yeah, there was a labor for 8 innings. He didn't go the full 9-inning term. So, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about Matt Cain taking that spot.
And I'm worried about Bochy letting his emotions get the best of his rational judgment, like he did with Romo and Casilla.
No. It's not about necessarily Bochy, because if you look back to when Zito was towards the end of his career, management sometimes forces the coach's hand. They'll say, "We're paying this guy a lot of money. You better put him on the field."
So it's about money.
I think so, a little bit.
Yeah, it's like,
so you got the contract.
$15 million. What do you want to do with that? You want to stick that in the bullpen?
And he's also sort of, he's a sentimental pick. Like the fans, I guess. I don't know. Would they really want to see Cain out there as a wounded horse?
Probably not. I think
a wounded horse limping out to the mound.
His golden years are no more.
It's that era of those 2010 Giants. It's dying out.
Yeah, we're trying to recapture something that just cannot be.
Well,
recaptured.
the legend of the reconstructed ship.
See, the ship of Theseus. We're losing the essential planks. We're losing the key elements that once made the Giants unique, at least that era. Yeah. So now you have to rebuild.
Still alive and strong.
That was during when Bonds was around, right?
I would say right after Bonds left is when you started constructing that ship that you consider this championship caliber Giants.
Because they were a much different team when Bonds was around.
When he was about to leave,
when Tim Lincecum came up, that was Bonds last year. Cain was a part of that team. Then they started bringing in the other guys like Affeldt joined a couple of years later. Posey came up in 2010, and they just brought in all the core 4 relievers that year. So they had been building. But this team now, with all these young players, it's a lot different. And it's even a lot different from 2010. So now they're trying to build with all these young players. Their pitching staff is more free agents, guys that have been established, like Samardzija, Cueto, Matt Moore. You got Bumgarner, who's been around for a while. So that's a lot different, but their infield. So let's talk about their infield, where they have all their homegrown players and then Eduardo Nunez. And I think the question is, what do you do with that third base role?
You get Gillespie to play. End of story.
Gillespie?
Yeah, Gillespie.
No, you can't really have him playing regularly because Nunez is the guy. Can Gillespie... He can play other positions, right? Or they really want him just to stick with third base?
Gillespie's pretty much just a corner infielder. He can only play third or first. That's pretty much it. Nunez, who, remember, they traded for him right before the deadline last year. He can play different positions, pretty much all over the infield, and he can even play outfield. And he looked really strong up until when he got hurt. I think it was the last couple of weeks of the season. He didn't even play in that Cubs.
That's true. He is a fast runner too. They need to replay. They need a fast runner.
Would they explore him playing outfield? Because their outfield. I mean, you got Span and Pence, but then you have Gorky's.
So you think Nunez would be a good option because he's versatile, fast, and he's a good hitter?
Well, it's up to you. So if you think Gillespie should get more playing time, the question is, what do you do with Nunez?
And Nunez is a superstar too. He's high paid. Mm-hmm. He's gonna demand you give him something a little bit more permanent. Then why are you making me be a sort of a part-time outfielder, infielder guy? What are you trying to do to me?
So what do you do with him then?
So I think you have to let him have third base, and then Gillespie comes off the bench. Sometimes maybe he plays outfield, but for the most part, he's playing third base every day.
And that's what he was doing. That's what Gillespie was doing. He was kind of that, trying to fill him where he had to, and that's...
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's not that he doesn't mind it. He just knows that that's the situation. Yeah. He's a professional. Yeah. He gets that.
You got affirmative action. You got to make sure you're racially diverse team. Yeah.
Hey, they have Bernard Stan.
You really don't like this Nunez.
No, I didn't say that. Where are you jumping to conclusions that I don't like Nunez? I just said I like Gillespie, but that doesn't mean I hate Nunez.
Did you see that play he made where he ran from third base and took a pop-up that Buster Posey couldn't find behind home plate?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
He's athletic.
That's true.
He could be an all-star again next year.
I'm just thinking in terms of I think Gillespie has more of a Giants charm.
He's got the
giant. Like if you let him build and grow and develop into a good athlete, he fits in with the clubhouse, I think.
He happened to have hit a 3-run home run that helped them secure a berth.
Yeah. Another birth.
That helps
another birthing moment.
He turned around the Chapman fastball and throw that double that tied that game.
There you go, chap face.
He was originally drafted by the Giants too, so he's got that
homegrown,
that makeup. He was there with Crawford and Bumgarner in the minor leagues, so he knows how they operate.
Nunez, he's on paper seems good. I think that would be the right rational choice to put him on third, but I won't connect with him.
Did he have any big hits? I thought he had a couple towards the end, Nunez, of the season.
Yeah, it was just the problem was he got hurt like middle of September and didn't play the rest of the way, so he couldn't really have much of an impact. So that's why we don't really remember.
Maybe.
Oh, so he didn't play in the playoffs, right? That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he didn't even play.
Yeah. And then I think all that's left is what you do with that bench. Because the bench last year was a major weak spot of the Giants. They did not get much production out of the bench. They had all these inexperienced players who were pretty much automatic outs when they went up to the plate. I don't know if you remember Ehire.
What the hell's up with that guy? He has his moments. Just rare moments. Whenever he wants to impress his girlfriend. It's para my girlfriend, man. I hit the home run.
I'm gonna hit a home run for my girlfriend.
I do it for you, my love. These are so racist.
Exactly what he's thinking every time.
Yeah, I'm going to hit one.
A lot of 4A players, guys who just couldn't make it to the big leagues, but were better than the AAA.
So who are the other people?
Kelly Tomlinson, I think it's sort of like that. And then I don't even remember their names. There were a bunch of guys who just came in and out.
Well, Tomlinson
had to start sometimes.
He was good. I mean, Tomlinson was a bright spot. Right? I mean, he always came. He's had big hits.
Clark Kent. He came up big, but he was their best bench player, and that you don't want Kelby Tomlinson to be your best bench player.
I think he was more than just their only option. I mean, he stepped up. I mean, he had some clutch hits. But I don't know who else they had.
Yeah, they had Trevor Brown as their backup catcher. And he started out well. I think he had a big home run against the Dodgers early on in the season, but then I don't think he hit a home run like after May. And they didn't really get much else they had like Ruben Tejada and some other guys who just didn't stick with the roster. And then they had Connor. He had to start in the playoffs. So when it came to the playoffs, I think their best bench player was Gorkis.
Yeah, and Gregor's gone, right? Is it?
Yeah, and Gregor's gone. So let's talk about the guys who left. Gregor's gone. Angel Pagan is gone.
Pagan.
All their core, 3 of their core 4 relief pitchers. Pitchers are pretty much all coming back. So it's really those outfield spots that's open and then the bench spots. Do you think they'll miss Angel Pagan, Steveocrates?
Yeah, as long as he's not injured. I mean, when he's there, he's really good.
Yeah, he's a good core Giants player.
So
they relied on him in 2012.
They're gonna miss.
I'm not sure why they're not trying to sign him.
Dinero.
Is it because of the money?
It's always about the money. Or maybe they told him you can't do the salute anymore. It's politically offensive.
Yeah, it offends our military and our Department of Defense.
I thought that promotes the military, saluting.
Yeah.
He's never been in the military, so that's disrespectful. It's
only people in the military can do the salutes.
False advertising.
When he does it, he kind of seems like he's mocking.
He is.
Salute this.
Well, he's mocking. He's mocking the other bench, is what he's doing. You thought I couldn't get a hit, but I got a hit.
Well, I think if he were as valuable as you think, some other team would have already picked him up, but he's still looking for a team.
But I guess it is most likely to do with the money, because he thinks he's worth a lot more than other teams are willing to pay for him. That's really what it is.
He's not a well-oiled machine.
I think he's just injury prone. People don't want to take risks.
Nope,
If I was
too injury prone.
If you're getting him Angel Pagan without the injury prone stuff, then yeah, he would be justified in getting paid what he thinks he's worth. So in his mind, he's like, well, every time I'm out in the field, I do very well, and I know this time I'll never get hurt again. But it doesn't work that way.
Now he's looking for a job, just like Tim Lincecum. Not even part of it. I didn't see that he's even a part of anyone's non-roster invitee list. He'll probably sign with someone. I'm sure it sounds like the Nationals might be interested in him. So he'll probably sign with somebody. It's just he has to wait it out.
I think the Giants management probably got offended.
By what?
I don't know. Who do you think was disrespectful? The Giants management or Pagan? Like they put a number on the table. Here you go. Here's how much you're worth. And then Angel was like, "That's a slap in the face. What are you doing to me?"
No, I don't think they actually offered him a contract. I think they pretty much just mutually parted ways. I'm sure when the Giants signed Denard Span last year, that offended him because that meant he couldn't play center field anymore. And I think he knew, okay, I'm done here. This is my last year.
So he got offended.
Oh, shit, man. I better look for another job soon.
You don't think he was willing to play left or right?
No, he did.
Left, I guess.
He did. It's just when you're a center fielder, you want to play center field. You don't want to be moved over.
But has he lost a beat out in center field?
No. I mean, he just always gets hurt covering all that ground, so... They wanted him to not be as injury prone.
Didn't he get blinded once by the sun when he was trying to catch a ball? He didn't have his damn glasses on. That's what I remember. Like high school. That's something I would do.
He would make the occasional boneheaded play. That's something.
I can't see the ball. I can't see the ball. Put your damn glasses on.
All the things away from Pagan. He really helped them. He helped them win in 2012. They pretty much relied on him that whole season. And when he got injured in 2014 at the end of the year, I thought there's no way they could win the World Series because they relied on him so much. Like throughout those years, they had a terrible winning percentage when Pagan was hurt. But they found a way to win without him. And the last couple of years, he's just always been hurt. So I think it's time to move on.
Pagan is gone, and we salute you.
Pagan salute.
Pagan salute.
So what do you think their chances are for winning the Cactus League in spring training?
At the rate they're going? So they won 2 straight.
They won their first 3.
First 3, that's right. First 3 games. And I thought, yes, they're on a roll, and then they lost 4 in a row.
5, actually. They had not sure 2 games today. They lost both games today.
Winning the Cactus Golden Oscar is really that important because...
It's a taste of things to come.
Well, no, not at all. Let me just put it this way.
A taste.
When you're
a morsel.
Say you're the shark out there on the mound. And he's been experimenting a little bit, right? Last year he changed his approach a little bit, right? Mid-season.
Mixing pitches.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good chance, good opportunity to sort of try a little bit of different things, different approaches, test the waters a little bit with real, actual major league hitters and other players. And
I disagree.
You do?
Think winning's important in spring training?
No. I think Steven was talking about mixing your pitches. That's important to do.
Changing things up a little bit. Maybe add a new pitch to your repertoire.
It's fine to do that in training, but not while you're in the middle of the season and you're trying to develop a particular pitch that you're not used to throwing. I think you should stick with your strengths.
I don't think, because remember Matt Moore, when he came to the Giants, he was not confident in his cut fastball. And then Buster Posey told him, hey, you should try throwing it. because that's what Bumgarner features.
Well, that's the beauty of...
He started to do that against the Dodgers when he almost threw that no-hitter.
But I think that's because of Buster Posey being an awesome catcher. He's able to pick up on certain strengths and weaknesses of a pitcher.
Nobody's saying Buster Posey's not an awesome catcher.
No. I'm saying that you have to give credit. That's more because of Posey having a keen insight into a pitcher's ability to throw a certain pitch. He believed in Matt Moore's, what was it? The cutter?
The cutter.
The cutter. He's like, hey, you got it. You can do this. But versus someone who's like, I'm going to experiment with different pitches for fun. And Samardzija, yeah.
Like Samardzija might not be the type of person who can experiment well. He seems a little slower to learn.
Yeah.
But it's good. Yeah, I agree with Steveocrates that's now is the time to be doing that in spring training.
Right.
Who cares about winning? Just see what you can work on and try it out.
Yeah, no. I agree with that part. Yeah, with spring training, that now's a chance to be developing a variety of pitches and hone them all before the season.
I'm not saying maybe add a completely new pitch. Maybe throw a pitch that you already have in a different count, or with the batter. Try a different hitch with your swing, or
try to just take an opposite field approach for a while.
Yeah.
Look for breaking balls.
Like for Hunter Pence, maybe be a little bit more patient at the plate sometimes in certain situations.
But see, that's the thing. That's just not Pence's style. That's like trying to tell.
I mean, I'm not trying to say, now
hey, Pence, can you lay off the cold brew a little bit?
I think I'm not saying don't drink like 8 cold brews in one day anymore.
Can you just calm down a little bit? Can you relax?
Maybe take one pitch out of the game. Just one.
Or take a pitch, stand back a little.
Yeah, stand back.
Lay off the El Cartel.
Yeah.
Or you need to be like Marco Scudero.
Marco Scudero was a genius. Very infrequent striking out. He knew the kind of batter that he was. That's what made him so brilliant. Is he knew himself. He knew that he's not a power hitter. He can hit home runs. He knew he was an RBI guy. And that was his strength. Being able to know when not to hit. He mastered the strike zone. Not a lot of people are like Scudero.
Yeah, so maybe Pence can take a little page, or not a page, maybe a little notepad page out of Scudero's book.
You want a more controlled Pence?
A little more controlled Pence, yeah.
No, not just a smidgen, not like completely like a Scudero, but
just don't get hurt. That's all.
Yeah, maybe don't jolt out the box.
Yeah, especially if it's not a necessary.
Like especially if it's a weak little ground ball to the pitcher. Just relax.
I think we should jump into give your prediction of who will be on the Giants' 25-man roster.
Okay.
When the Cactus League is complete and the Giants are at the bottom of the standings. So Alberotle, go first. Give us your pitchers.
My pitchers, okay.
Remember, you have 25 spots.
I just went from whatever
pitchers on there like Bochy would like to do.
So I have Bum, Cueto, Moore, Samardzija, and Andrew Suarez.
Ooh, as your 5th starter.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Who's in your bullpen?
Okay, so I have my 5 starting pitchers, and then I have the 7 relief pitchers.
Okay, then who did you pick?
So I have Ty Blach, Matt Cain, Guerin, Osich, Strickland, Albert Suarez, and Will Smith.
Not Mark Melanson?
Mark Melancholy, I don't know.
You're picking Andrew Suarez over Mark Melanson?
Yeah.
Okay. So how about your catchers?
Nick Hundley and Buster Posey.
Nick Hundley should be a good pickup.
Yeah.
He was a veteran. Should be able to hit better than Trevor Brown.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. How about your infield?
I have Brandon Belt, Crawford, Gillespie, Joe Panic, Miguel Gomez, and Tomlinson.
And Tomlinson?
Yeah.
Miguel Gomez.
Yeah.
Did you see him play? Or did you get his autograph?
No, I saw him play, and I didn't get his autograph, but I did see him walking out. And a lot of people seem to like this guy.
Huh.
So I'm assuming people really want to see him play. And
maybe
he's
he'll
pretty good.
go straight from minors up to the opening day roster. How about your outfield? Oh, did we lose Steveocrates?
I think we lost him. He fell into a black hole.
I was wondering why he was being so silent.
Yeah, I was like, he's probably laughing. What a horrible pick. So my outfielders, well, I didn't really have much to choose from. Pence, Span, Gorkys, Williamson, and Parker.
Okay.
Yeah.
No Michael Morse.
Well,
Interesting.
No, well, I just didn't know I thought he was going to be just on the bench. Like,
that In Excess, is it In Excess song? The one that he plays?
oh, the aha, like. And of course, Michael Morse. I'll add him.
So you're going with the 26-man roster, hoping to get an exception from the league, just to add Michael Morse.
Well, because I read that he's more of just a backup.
Yeah,
so
he'll be on the bench.
On the bench. I mean, I would love to see him play. Was it left field?
Yeah, he'll have to play left field, which at his age, his old age of 34.
Yeah, old rickety man.
Don't know if he can move around.
Seems a little lumpy, slugging around.
Too big, too lumbering. But I would like to see him on the team too.
So that is my 25-man roster pick for 2017. That is exactly what Bochy's going to choose for this season.
Very interesting squad you got there. I don't know about Andrew Suarez being picked on the team.
I think he impressed Sean Estes enough for him to negotiate a bling contract.
Bochy will be like, yeah, Sean, I trust your opinion. So, Andrew, you're on the team.
You're on the team.
Grab a beer.
I'm old and just pull my emotional strings.
Sounds like Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda and Cookie Monster. Or Cookie Monster just ate Yoda.
That's Bruce Bochy's voice. Yeah, we'll see how that roster does. For mine, I went with a 12-man pitching staff.
Okay.
So my starting staff is Mad Bum, Cueto, Matt Moore, Jeff Samardzija, and my fifth spot, I was a little iffy, but I went with Matt Cain because I think.
Ooh, okay.
I think he will be. This is who I think will be on the team, not necessarily who I want to be on the team.
Okay. Well,
I think they will go with Matt Cain
because of the contract and the money and his opportunity to, I guess, prove himself.
Yeah,
his opportunity to shine the last moments of his career.
Yeah, see if he can get through the first 4 innings without exploding, and then the bullpen will have to take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, who knows? Maybe he'll have a comeback season and he'll be an all-star again.
That would be great.
For my bullpen, I picked George Contos, Hunter Strickland, Derek Law. I really like Derek Law.
I forgot about Law.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Valley Towel, man.
Oh, well, let me cross out Guerin and put in Derek Law.
Okay. And I have Will Smith, Mark Melanson, Josh Osich.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Left-hander. And David Hernandez.
Who?
He was... They've signed him just a couple of weeks ago. He used to pitch for the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
So he's sort of a veteran guy. I think they'll go with him instead of Corey Guerin. I'm not sold on Corey Guerin making the team.
Is he right-handed?
Yeah, he's right-handed. I don't know, though, because they need another left-hander, so it'll be...
The Melancholy, is he left-handed? Or no?
No, he's right-handed.
I was right-handed.
They only have Osich, Bumgarner, Matt Moore, Will Smith as left-handers that I have on my team. I'd like to see Ty Blach on there instead, but...
Because he smoked the Dodgers. The Doyers. But didn't the Doyers try getting more lefties?
Actually, I don't know. They would need more right-handed hitters.
Oh, more right-handed, yeah.
But I don't know. They didn't really make many changes to their offense.
Because I know they're like, oh man, we gotta face Ty Blach.
Yeah. And Matt Moore and
Matt Moore, yeah.
They can't hit left-handers, so they didn't really address that. I don't think so.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's our advantage.
Then for my catchers, I have the same as you, Posey and Hundley.
Okay.
Infield, of course, Brandon Belt, Joe Panic, Brandon Crawford. Nunez, I have him playing infield. I don't think he should play in the outfield. Connor Gillespie, I have him on there. And then I picked, instead of Kelby, which is hard, I don't want to leave him off.
Ouch.
I put Jimmy Rollins, the veteran player from the Phillies.
But why do you think they're going to go with Rollins and not Tomlinson?
Because he has more experience and he's a switch hitter.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to say for sure because it's like that last spot on the bench.
But Tomlinson is a Superman.
I know.
He could pull through clench hitting. I don't know if an old fart man, Jim Rollins, all right, get up there. All right, let's see, just swing and hit.
Yeah, I don't know. Because he didn't play much last year. He was on the White Sox and they released him like in May. So this is like his last gasp to stay in the league. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they might start out with him. Okay. See how it goes. And then if he doesn't work out well, then they can always bring Kelby back up from the minors. Okay. My outfield, I have Hunter Pence, Denard Span. And then you know how the contest is pretty much between Jarrett Parker and Mac Williamson for left. I went with Jarrett Parker. I think the Giants will want him to be on the roster because they can send Mac Williamson down to the minors. And then my two other outfield spots are Gorkys. And my last spot, I went with Michael Morse.
There you go. You are a good man, Charlie Brown.
It's a tough one, though. It's going to be hard for him to make the team. There's some good outfielders, like Justin Ruggiano is another guy that they might consider. He can play all outfield spots, and he's a veteran, same age as Michael Morse. But Michael Morse, I think, would be better because he can hit for power.
Yeah, they need
that power.
They definitely need some power hitters.
Yeah, they didn't have any power off their bench last year.
No.
So I think they can really use him. Plus, having his presence in the clubhouse will really help. I think they missed that last year.
Yeah, he was cheering on the audience during spring training, getting the crowd. Hey, everyone, when Brandon Crawford catches the ball, everyone cheer and clap. And then before he was going to catch, he's like, now, go! And then everyone's like, whoa! Just like that. Already you could tell like he's trying to reinvigorate the team spirit.
Yeah. Plus he sort of helps what, Hunter Pence does. He doesn't, Hunter Pence doesn't have to be the only one on the team who can motivate everyone.
Yeah.
You can have Michael Morse sort of be that second motivational voice.
That way people don't have to feel, Pence, all right, we got it.
Yes!
Yeah, it's enough. Like he talked about that in an interview, was that Hunter Pence needs someone to push him to keep his spirits up, and I can sort of be that.
Yeah, the backup
person. Yeah,
it's like I'm tired and exhausted of trying to get everyone excited and thrilled to play every game every day. But
yeah, there's got to be somebody to support the support person.
The supporter who supports the support.
Plus, he can hit a home run, so that's what you need. Yeah. So that's who I think will be on the roster. We'll see come end of spring if that's who Bochy goes with. And maybe we'll have a contest to see who was most accurate.
All right. And of course, things will change in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll have to update.
Maybe right before the season starts, we'll give our final roster picks.
And our predictions of who will be injured.
Who will be injured and
who's going to go, who's going to come in, replace certain players.
And how many wins the Giants will get, what place they'll finish. We'll have to make our preseason predictions.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll have to get Steveocrates' 25-man roster since he was unable to join this portion of the podcast.
Yeah.
To get him out of the little black hole, wormhole that he fell into.
Yeah, he just got sucked into a wormhole.
Suck him.
All because of Donald Trump. His new nickname is Orange Tea, by the way. A hot tea. A hot orange tea.
And we'll have to talk more about orange tea next time and his strange figures about employment. I'm sure there's lots to talk about there. And also your Motley Fool's conference experience.
Yes, I have to shout that out and let everyone know that the Motley Fool are an awesome investing financial service. Chris Hill, the host of Motley Fool Radio, he expressed an interest in ASP Stuff Radio. So hopefully he's listening to some of our episodes.
So with that, I think we're all stuffed up.
Yes.
Yes! 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 Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Here. Well, oh, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. Well, oh, I'm here. Yeah.
Suck it, suck it, suck it, suck
You guys gotta go.
Yeah. It's late. It's late.
All right.